Hello to the single person watching. This is Vertical Hell Scan in the flesh, an actual a fleshy, bloody, living person on the internet. Can you believe it? Given the current state of the internet, I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Hello. So I'm going to start the stream very soon. I'm just waiting for any other people to get here. I posted a link, and I'm going to be playing the footage from my camera. The what's it called? The view of my camera from the CRT screen. It will be displayed. So it's hooked up to my computer right now. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. Ooh, fancy little graphic there. There it is. There's my desktop. So okay, so here's what I'm going to be doing here. I'm going to sort of be recreating the music from the Ethereal Park video. I want to make a weirder version of it. Actually, I want to make it sound more out of tune and strange. Because the video that I'm going to be using it for also features a park, except this time the park is going to be on fire because it's the apocalypse. So just a reminder to remind myself what that sounded like. Okay, so I'm going to try and recreate that, but I'm going to change around the notes and make it kind of like a different version. So I'm opening up my ancient version of Logic. It's a music software that I use. This is what I do before I start recording. Actually, I open up a MIDI controller on my keyboard. I use my typing keyboard to play notes, and I just kind of lollygag around. I kind of just do whatever, and I try and get that solidified on the software before I start recording. So I just get these notes down real quick, and I open up this grid. It's called the piano roll, and you can edit the notes. You can click and drag them all over the place. So I'm going to save this so that if it crashes, hopefully, I'll have a backup. That's kind of how I want it to begin, and now I have to figure out what's going to come after that. I kind of feel like going low. Or maybe higher. I don't know. Trying to figure out my scale here. You know what? It should be an octave higher, so I'm going to move it an octave up. Oh, okay, there's something. Maybe I could go in that direction. Dun, dun. No, I kind of want to... That should be lower. No, that last note at the end, I gotta, there we go. Making it go a semitone down made it sound a little more, I don't know, like an actual piece of music. Okay. There's going to be like four of these. So I have 2 of them down so far for the main melody. Okay, that sounds quite mysterious and creepy, so we're gonna keep that. And let's see. I have to hum to myself. Do 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 do. No, I often mess up a lot. So I'll do like a few improvisations. And I'll select the best one and then I'll start editing it. That's the beauty of digital, baby. You can just kind of go all over the place and then fix it later. That's why I do this before actually recording on tape. I know this sounds really bad right now, but trust me, I'm just loading up a random synth preset just to figure out the notes. I'm going to completely redo the synth sounds to something a lot nicer. I just now noticed the live chat, so I'm gonna read them and respond. So I am sort of seeing how it goes, but I'm trying to do like an alternate version of Ethereal Park, which is I think from the very first Vertical Hell Scan video. It's this piece of music I made. Okay, that sounds like a complete that sounds like a complete sequence of a melody. So here's what I'm gonna do to make this sound a little spicier. So it's something called a perfect fifth. It's when you add a note on top of each note that is 7 semitones apart. So it could be either 7 semitones higher or lower than the root note of each note. It creates a perfect fifth harmony, and it sounds really warm and dreamy and pretty. And now I'm adding a delay. That's a little bit too fast of a delay. I want it to be a little slower and not as loud. So I'm doing some adjustments in this teeny tiny little window. There we go. That's a lot nicer. I hope it's loud enough. I hope people can hear this. All right, I believe that's pretty much outlined. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to the bass. So I'm gonna go all the way down some octaves. I want it to be an acid kind of bass, so I'm gonna turn up the resonance on the synth parameters. That makes it that gives it that kind of that kind of sound is wow wow. Nice and acidic. Don't want too much of it though. You don't want it to be too acidic, or else it'll burn you. Okay, so I'm figuring out what key I'm in. I don't know like technical music theory terminology. I just sort of see what the letters of the notes are. So that maybe I could, I don't know, I could just start recording and lay it down. By the way, that black bar you're seeing moving across the timeline, I don't know why that is. It's a glitch. This is a very old software from 2009, and I'm running it on a 2015 computer. So for some reason, because it's so old and it's being ran on another computer that's a later model, it creates this weird visual glitch where a black bar just goes across the screen. I'm very used to it by now. This is probably as boring as it's going to get, to be honest. That's way too low. Hold on. This one should be an octave lower. Oop, lost my signal for a second. Whoa, okay. Sometimes there's auditory glitches when I click on the notes. No. Instead of having it end with the final fourth note, I might just spice it up and just have it end with 3. So I'm gonna delete that one. Yeah, that leaves some space, some open air for the very end there. You don't want to have all those heavy bass frequencies clouding up the very end. Okay, now there's this choir part from the original that I want to try and emulate here. And it's my voice, actually. This is a sampler instrument where I recorded my voice going, ah. And I call it the emission choir. So emission choir. Yeah, I just layered a bunch of recordings of my voice to make a choir sound. And then, I loaded it up in the sampler, and now I could play it like a keyboard. Okay, so I'm kind of going for that. Okay, the velocity was all the way down, which is why it sounded really quiet. So now it's super loud. Oh no. Okay, those first two segments sound really good. But this last segment here, it needs some work. Yeah, it definitely went too high. I kind of wanted to descend in pitch, actually. Da, 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 da. That's kind of, yeah, that's the note I wanted to end on. So get the fuck out of here, you guys. Pardon my French. Excusez-moi. No, that's still too low. That third note there. I mean, maybe that could work, but I think this should go a little higher. Yeah. Okay, I think I got all those notes pretty much where I want them, which is the most satisfying part of composing. You have all these notes all over the place, and you're like, where the heck are you gonna go? It's like a puzzle that you, but it's a puzzle that you make for yourself. Okay, switching to the actual camera here. Whoa, there's my synthesizer with we've got our sundown guy over there. I gotta turn on all my equipment, get it all ready. All right, so I've got all my wires and cables hanging on this lamp here. This is how I keep myself organized. So we're gonna start creating that lead melody sound on my Korg MS-20 analog synthesizer. This is where it gets analog finally. So this thing I'm hooking it up to right now, it's usually a drum machine, but it has effects on it, like reverb and delay and stuff. So I'm gonna hook the synthesizer up to it, so I could get effects like, you know, reverb, echo. So I'm kind of daisy chaining all of this stuff together. So I think this pattern is blank. So I go into the audio in, and I have to fill it all up so that it could play it back. So that's the very blank sounding synth patch there. So I'm gonna get some saw waves going. Okay, let's calm that down. Okay, I gotta create the perfect fifth harmony. So far, that is not a perfect fifth. So I gotta keep editing the pitch on the. There's two oscillators. There's two sound generators, and one of them you could adjust the pitch on. There we go. There's the perfect fifth. Yeah, we're getting all kinds of knobby. Okay, so we're getting close to the sound I want. I'm joking. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. I'm adding a pitch wobble to it to make it extra dreamy. Oh God, not. That's a little strong. Okay, we're getting there, but I have to add the reverb, the effects, and the delay. Whoa! Now it sounds like it's in a cave or something. Okay, so I gotta lay down the tempo so that I know what I'm going to, so I know how to play in time. Meow, meow, meow. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Rewind that. So that's filling up the first track on the 4-track tape machine. I'm going to move on to the second track, and I'm going to lay down these notes, for goodness sake. Okay, let me just make sure everything sounds good. Okay. I think I could start recording now. Just making sure the levels are good, not too quiet, not too loud. Okay. Usually I'm a terrible musician and it takes me about 1,000 tries to get the notes right. All right, so I got to get another setting here. I think we're moving on to the bass now. Yeah. So I don't need that perfect fifth harmony anymore, so I'm going to revert the pitch back to normal. Switch this to the third track. Oh gosh, it's still kind of out of tune. There we go. I jump scared my own self with the synthesizer. Okay, I think we're ready to go. All right, I believe I can move on to the choir now, but here's the thing. That choir sound comes from my computer, so I have to get this this other cord. This is like a USB cord that I hook up to my synth, and then it goes into my computer, and then I could use the keyboard as a MIDI controller for the virtual computer instrument. So I gotta do some plugin. All right, we don't need that anymore in there. I have to plug this into the back of the computer. Now I usually use my computer speakers as a monitor to hear what I'm doing, but because that's going to get all plugged up, I'm going to have to listen to what I'm doing through an amplifier. Okay, so we're moving on to the fourth track here, the final track, but it won't be for long. All right, that's definitely loud enough. Okay. Neato Cheeto Burrito. Got that one down very quickly. All right, so that ending still sounds a little empty to me. I'm gonna review what I've got so far without the metronome. I'm going to use that first track to record a sound at the very end to kind of complete it. But for now, I just want to check the mix. Cool. Yeah, that sounds all right. So what I plan on adding is, I don't know, I kind of want like a whistle sound or something. I can turn these off now, I don't need them anymore. Just some kind of ambient noise, like a wind whistling or something. So I'm gonna actually use a microphone and my actual mouth for this one. I hate how that sounds. I'm going to whistle into a microphone, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to hook it up to this effects box, which is actually just a drum machine. And I'm gonna really dial in that reverb to make it sound like a weird ambient noise. Okay. That sounds reverby enough. I didn't love that take, so I think I'm gonna redo it. It needs more reverb. I'm sorry that you have to hear this so many times, but this is how the process is. Okay, that was good. That was decent. I think we're pretty much all done with the recording phase. I just have to mix it a little bit and record it into the computer so I could drop the file into the video project. Oh yeah. I think that's pretty good. So I have it in the computer. We went from digital to analog to digital again. So I'm gonna export this onto my hard drive as a Pock Park Syntho. A Pock Park Syntho Sizzlers. There we go. Okay. And switching back to sharing my screen here. So there's a few little polishings I'm going to do to this in the computer software. I'm bringing it back into Logic, which is what I use. It's usually just to do some EQ or to add a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more reverb at the end too. But with the mic, when I used the microphone, there was a bit of there were some artifacts that I didn't like, and I actually have a preset setting for this plugin, this EQ plugin that I use. I detected the frequencies that often show up when I do acoustic recordings, and those spikes you see going down are going to be eliminating the frequencies that I don't like that show up at the very end. So I'm going to automate them to. I don't want them to be cutting out those frequencies throughout the whole thing, because then it will just sound kind of weird. They only really show up at the tail end. So I'm going to sort of automate this sliding scale for each one of those parameters. This is very tedious and boring stuff, but it's part of it, so I'm including it. I find music production so fascinating, especially when it's such a different style than just rap beats in FL Studio. Well, thank you. I'm glad it's fascinating. Yeah, I remember being in high school and looking up dubstep tutorials. I've come a long way from there. I started out doing everything in the computer, and then after a while, I just got really bored of just sitting in front of a screen for everything. And so the moment I was able to, start working jobs and saving up money, I was like, I'm gonna go get those synthesizers in person. I'm gonna get the cassette tape recorder. And I don't know, I really like the hands-on vibe of that process. It just feels very satisfying. It tickles my brain to press buttons in the real world. So that sort of led me down the path. All right, adding some extra reverb at the tail end there. It's almost ready. There we go. it ended a little too abruptly in the raw recording. So I'm just finessing it. Okay. There we go. The black bar is back to haunt me. Okay, so I could export this as a new file. Displaying a computer monitor screen on a CRT makes text not legible at all. Trying to type is a very, very interesting experience. But you know, I gotta stay on brands with the analog aesthetics. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm working on a new video. It has nothing to do with the Sundown Clown. I will go back to making videos about that guy eventually, but I want to do some more unrelated stuff, some cartoons. And pretty much it's going to feature, this is just going to feature a park that's on fire because it's the apocalypse. And I wanted to have some haunting music playing during the establishing shots. So this is one of the shots I have ready. I need to go back into Blender and make a few more. This is all 3D fire that I've made in Blender. On top of photos that I actually took at a park. So this is kind of the vibe. So that's how it's going to be used. There are a few more shots I want to include, different angles, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm very, very thankful for everyone who joined the stream and watched my process. I just want to give a little give a little plugging here. Other than the synth plugging, I'm going to plug my Patreon. Patreon.com/verticalhellscan. If you would like to support me there, you absolutely can. You don't have to, but you can. And I want to shout out my supporters: glitchwitch.jpg, David Quarles, Stephanie, Terry Mullica, I'm sorry, and Moss is Cool. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Some of y'all have been here since the very beginning, and I just very much appreciate your support. And I guess that's it. This is my first time streaming. I don't know how to conclude these. I just wanted to express some gratitude. Hopefully I get this video done soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If there's any other questions, I could answer them real quick. Thank you very much. It's taking a little longer because I always think I'm about to be finished, and then as I'm finishing it up, I think, oh, it needs it needs another thing. It needs a few more things. Why not? And then I realize, oh God, I'm just going to keep indefinitely extending the workload and how long it's going to take. But it's worth it. It's worth it. It should. I really want to try and get this out by before the month ends, and I have a larger story planned for this one. I'm probably going to break it up into parts just to get uploads out more frequently. Yeah, I have exported a couple backups of the footage I have so far, and I have them saved onto separate hard drives. So yeah, things have been saved a few times. So yeah, until then, I guess I'll see you guys some other time. Once again, very, very appreciative to anyone who gives a flippin' heck about what I'm doing. It means a lot to me. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.